back to the Over the Shoulder podcast. This week we are going over the history of the AEW Championships. That goes for the World Championship, the Women's Championship, the TNT, the newly announced TBS Championship, and of course the World Tag Team Championships. Once again, like every week, I'm here with my co-host Rob. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Well, Max, happy to be back here, of course, for another episode. This one's a little bit outside my comfort zone just because I don't have any belts that have been made for this, and I don't actually really watch AEW. I don't.
Right.
Not that I'm not, familiar with it. Really happy, of course, to be commenting on the belts, looking at these different types of belts, the replica, the official replica that we'll be talking about. It's a different type of episode, of course, here at Over the Shoulder Podcast. We'd like to bring you not just the WWE episodes. We like to bring you all around variety episodes. So really happy to be going through this belt with you, Max.
Yeah, for sure. Now, just to get it off, let's start with the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. Now, this belt, in my opinion, is one of the current best world title designs. Definitely currently. Possibly of all time. I really love this belt. When I first saw it, I was a little conflicted. I knew I liked it, but I didn't know how much I liked it until I saw it. I started watching it every week on Dynamite. Really grew on me. Really do love the design. Very intricate, very complicated design. It's not a simple design. Rob, what do you think? What did you think when you first saw the design?
I'm with you. I don't know if I really liked it, at first, but then as it grew on me because as we know, as everyone knows in the belt hobby of, who I am, I'm a guy that loves big ass world titles. This is definitely one. If I were to comment on the belt though, I think it's absolutely amazing with respect to the stack plates. That main plate is absolutely amazing. And it's really nice, too, for this main plate. The main plate is a really decent size. But then the side plate, those first inner side plates, are pretty much the size vertically as the main plate. Not exactly the width, but I think it really, really goes well here. And then it goes to the other side plates that just get marginally smaller. Right. If I were to comment on the belt, I love the black strap, the tooling that goes around. Maybe more color, but I don't think you can here because of the logo, because of what they're doing. So a phenomenal belt, an absolutely phenomenal belt. And I know that all of my belt brothers and all of our belt brothers are really excited for the official replica that they are going to be shipping out. But Max, I'm with you. It grew on me. I mean, the first time that I did see this was when Bret Hart, and those are Bret Hart's hands. Yeah. Those are his hands when he came out and he did unveil this. And I mean, look at it. Look at that fucking title.
I remember he could barely pick it up. It's a huge stack of plates. I think it's 3 layers at its peak. It's ridiculous. Every little layer is stacked. Jewels all over the place, dual plated. Absolutely love it. Now, if I would change one thing, and this is more like the AEW logo, I don't like how the AEW logo is all scratched up. I know that's AEW's design, which I get it, but I would like it more refined, like a smooth, the AEW logo. I think that could look cool. But it is their logo, so I understand why they did it. I just would have preferred a matte finish, not a matte, a mirror finish on the logos instead of all the scratched up. I love the main plate. I love the shape. It's a very vertical shape, very vertical main plate. And I love how the side plates come in almost like a puzzle. You can see they almost fit in perfectly. Love that. Tooling, classic tooling going around the main plate and the side plates, just a clamshell. But then it has the AEW strip going all the way down. I think that's perfect. Looks wonderful. And as for paint, I do agree it could be nice with some paint, but I can't think of anywhere it would go. I don't see the globes being painted, or the logo wouldn't be changed, obviously. So yeah, I think it's a wonderful belt.
Yeah, no. And I mean, another thing that I was just thinking about commenting, and with respect to the nameplate's really small. Yeah. It is really, really small. I think and they got a lot of room there. I think if they would have made, how that, so the banner on the champion is curled. It's kind of like a smiley face a little bit. I know you can't curve a nameplate, but you do have a lot of distance that goes across. You could make it a little bit bigger.
Yeah,
just nameplate, just to see it. But I mean, that is like literally like just literally fine tuning. It's almost like, you go into the gym and you just toning things. I mean, as far as the belt goes, it's fucking incredible.
yeah. It's a just the beauty, and I think it grew on everyone. I don't know too many people that hate this belt. Of course, some people do, but it's
Yeah.
just almost like a combination of so many different belts. It reminds you of the IWGP V4.
Oh yeah.
Um, it's a very beautiful design. I really do love it. Now, of course, the first champion was Chris Jericho, crowned at Double or Nothing 2019, I believe. If I'm incorrect, I'm sorry. I'm not textbook. Now, he did beat Hangman Page in the main event, and I think he was the perfect first champion. Bring some legitimacy to this brand new company. And I remember at the time people were just calling it a t-shirt company because they only had, pay-per-view and they're just selling shirts. And having Chris Jericho, a huge star, a man who wrestled in WCW, WWF, WWE, New Japan, a huge star all around, being your first champion is just shows you how big this company is and how it can. And you see it now. It's the second biggest company in the world for wrestling, and I think he's a perfect first champion. Rob, what do you think about Chris
I,
Jericho?
I absolutely agree, bro. I really do. I mean, I'm a very, very big Chris Jericho fan. And I mean, they were new. They were brand new coming out of the
Mhm.
gate. And I mean, who are you going to have as the first champion? Like, who can you literally have to get you started? He was perfect. He
Exactly.
absolutely was. He brought a lot of professionalism, I thought, to the being a champion. I mean, he has experience going back. I mean, WCW, like you said, WWF, WWE. I mean, he's been like, I mean, Canadian boy. I mean, he's just absolutely incredible. A fine guy, an absolutely outstanding guy, nicest guy, one of them that you can ever meet. Um, I mean, I don't think there is anybody else.
Yeah.
And AEW's only had three champions. They had when we'll talk about them, but
Mhm.
um, I, I totally agree. He is the best fit.
For sure. And I really did love his reign. He brought a lot of legitimacy to the title and made it prestigious. And it made you care about the title. I mean, the way he carried himself, the way he composed. Of course, he did lose his belt right after winning it. But thankfully, he did get it back. Other than that, though, he did treat this like a proper world title, like an actual prize, like something you want to win, something you need to have. And I think it was perfect. Now, the next champion, I think, was a perfect timing. Unfortunately, due to the pandemic, he didn't have a proper title reign, in my opinion. And then, of course, is John Moxley. I remember watching this. Oh, it wasn't too far long ago, but Revolution 2020, just an amazing, great pay per view. Looking back, it's just a huge moment in AEW. Of course, Moxley finally winning the AEW World Title was a nice change. I really did love it, and I was so excited for his title reign. Like I said, unfortunately, with the pandemic, his title reign between three champions, we'll talk about Omega next. I would unfortunately rank it last. Now, that's not nothing against Moxley. I love Moxley; he's great. It's just it was during the pandemic. It's really hard for a champion. You look back at Drew McIntyre, he was the WWE champion, or even Rich Swann, he was the Impact World champion. It's hard to be champion during the pandemic, and he did what he could. And I did like a lot of his matches. I loved his match with Brody Lee, MJF. I really did like those matches. But I mean, just the moment itself of Revolution was just so great. Rob, what do you think about
I,
Moxley?
I mean, you can talk about John Moxley, and I mean, I'm absolutely a huge fan of his. I mean, Mrs. Head of the Table is a big fan of his when he was Dean Ambrose back in WWE. Um, and I mean, I'm really, really happy for him that he is getting the help that he is needing
Yeah,
right now. I 100% agree with you. I wonder how his title reign would have been different if the
yeah,
pandemic was not happening, but he did what he could. It was like it was like Drew McIntyre. And I know Drew McIntyre was absolutely fucking pissed off that
yeah,
he was supposed to, he's supposed to win the Royal Rumble, go and beat Brock Lesnar, at WrestleMania, which he did WrestleMania in the
yeah.
Performance Center. Moxley did whatever he could. with the title, and I agree with you. Kenny Omega, I mean, now obviously is champ. His title reign, I think Moxley is probably the worst out of the three, not because of anything, but
Not, I
because
don't
of
think it was his
the
fault. It was out of his
no,
hands. And like Drew, like you were talking about, it's just a sad moment. I mean, you worked your whole life for this moment, and
yeah,
you got to do it in empty arenas. And I mean, AEW had a few fans, but it's not the same as a full
no,
packed,
yeah,
15,000 people screaming at the top of their lungs. And
no, no.
like you said, I am so glad he's getting help. That is wonderful news. But his title reign a bit lackluster, but I did not hate it. I was happy with it.
No, and I'm hoping, that, I mean, he's getting a lot better. He's a lot better successful now in AEW than what
Mhm.
he was in WWE. I mean, he was a champ in WWE, but he was, I think, one time. But,
Yeah,
I'm glad he's getting the push. I'm glad, that he's happy. He's an amazing wrestler. I think he's
yeah,
absolutely incredible. And what he does with the role, like, holy crap, like, he is a great actor.
yeah,
The way that he just, like, a psycho, like, it's just absolutely incredible. So,
yeah.
glad he's getting the help he deserves, and
Now,
hopefully, he'll recover.
mhm. Now, one nitpick I do gotta say is the way he's holding that leather.
Yeah,
It's making me hurt. It hurts me in my soul. That poor leather. But
he's
moving
sweet.
on to the man that did beat John Moxley, who seemed unbeatable up until this moment. Of course, best belt machine, the belt collector, Kenny
Uh,
Omega.
yeah.
And this was a huge moment. I remember watching it. It was Winter is Coming, which is it was a big Dynamite Sting debut at that episode. And in the main event, Kenny Omega, John Moxley, Don Callis helped him steal the AEW title. And up until this moment, we never saw anyone like cheat to win an AEW title. Like
Mm.
even as a heel, like Jericho won clean, Moxley won clean. You look back at the women's champions, even then they won clean. And to see the world title, him win it cheating, just seemed like such a disrespect. Like I know in WWE it happens all the time, it's normal, but in AEW, it's like it was so rare to see that moment. So it was just like a huge shock. And then at the end, of course, saying, I'll see you, I think it was like Tuesday night on Impact. Just a crazy moment.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I I totally agree. It's because brand new and everything, and you haven't seen a lot of cheating, and the way that it happened was a little bit shocking. But
Almost like blatantly
yeah,
disrespectful, and I love that. I loved it. It's just such a real heel tactic, and people hate him. People actually hate him. I
well,
mean, I love him, but like a lot of people do hate him. They're like, "Oh, he's so cocky." That's the point.
he's doing his job.
Yeah,
He's
exactly.
doing his job. He's getting, he's, him being the heel. A lot of people hate him. You know what? That's
That's right.
exactly, he's
That's
doing
what
his
he should
job.
be
He's
doing.
doing it. So good for him. No, he's a
Yeah.
great champ. He really is. And he's been champ for a long time. As you and I were talking off screen before we came on this episode, it did say, I believe, 319 plus days that has been champ. So,
Yeah,
and I think
longest reign, I believe.
he'll continue.
Yeah. I mean, this episode's coming out on Wednesday, and this weekend we are getting Full Gear, where Hangman Page, I think, will beat Omega. He will possibly be the fourth champion. Who knows? But as for his title reign, I did love it. I love the whole belt collector. I know a lot of people didn't like it. I liked it, loved it. He of course is holding the replica in the far right picture. So talk about it a bit later. But yeah, I loved his reign. My favorite reign's probably, it's hard. I don't know if I like Jericho's or Omega's, but I'm, I'm gonna say Omega. Omega, Jericho, Moxley. Now that's just because I love Omega. I always did, and see him finally win that title was just a huge moment. How would you rank the champions?
I that in that exact order. I mean, and no disrespect to Moxley. Again,
No,
no
no, no.
disrespect to Moxley. I'm a big Moxley fan, Dean Ambrose fan. I know what type of wrestler he is. He's great, and Jericho obviously. But I do think that Kenny Omega's reign has been just better than
Yeah,
Jericho's, and he's been champ longer. So you know what? Happy for Omega, of course.
of course. Now moving on to the AW Women's World Championship. Going on with the version 1.
Version 1. Holy fucking God.
Come on, man. Like,
Wow.
it's so tiny. And I know it's a women's title, but look at it. It's like the size of a hand.
It's made
That's
for
the
my
ref's hands, and that's so tiny.
it's made for my dog.
I it looks like a dog collar.
Oh
It's
my God.
ridiculous, so tiny. I don't understand it.
There's
I
so much
really
going on with
I
this.
mean, I guess it's like more of a classic. They went with a classic look, but I hate it. I mean the design, I don't mind the design. It's okay design. Um just the size. Why is it so small?
I don't know this thing is just fucking horrible. The I do I like the tooling that goes all the way around.
Mhm.
I don't like the plates. Yeah, you said 7 plater, right?
Yeah, 7 plater, which is
There are
so weird.
7 freaking plates for this belt. I mean, I don't know. Were they trying to go back to what the women's NXT belt, the Page belt with the one player? Are they trying to go that small? They're not even that small. Like,
No.
and the plates, it looks like fuck it. Sorry, Max. Like it looks like I went to the dollar store and I was trying to find a fucking dog collar for my dog. I really like this is horrible.
Yeah.
And compared to what they did with the title, with the heavyweight title, and then they went to this, are they trying to say that women's wrestling is not as prestigious as the men's wrestling with this title? Because
It's
holy
just
shit.
comedically small. It's just so ridiculous. I know it's a women's title. It shouldn't be huge like the AEW World Championship, but this is ridiculous. It's like a toy. It's too small to be a toy. I swear I have like old plastic belts that are bigger than this. It's so ridiculous. And the first champion was of course Riho. She faced Nyla Rose at the first ever Dynamite, and Riho is tiny. And look how small it looks on her.
Still really
And the
small.
plates are super thick, but they're tiny. Like
Still
I
really
don't
small.
understand this
They're
belt.
very thick plates, but
I
yeah.
mean, it's nice that they're thick, but like, why are they so? I hate this. I hated this. I always hated how tiny it was. Um, Now speaking on Riho's reign, I did like her as the first champion. It was pretty fun. She didn't do too much with the title, to be honest. It was a pretty lackluster reign. Um, did you watch Riho or have you seen
No,
Riho? No.
no,
Yeah,
no, no,
she's
no.
super tiny, and it's fun to watch her wrestle. I mean, good first champion. Um, just kind of lackluster, to be honest, in my opinion. Now the next champion was Nyla Rose, and I absolutely hate Nyla Rose, which is she's a heel, so she's doing
Oh,
her
good job.
job right.
Good job.
She's doing a good job because I absolutely hate her. Every time I see her on my TV, I hate her. But what she should be doing. She's a monster. She destroys everyone. And I remember when she won the title, it made sense. She was running through everyone in the division, destroyed Riho, won the world championship, and had a pretty good reign. I think she had a match against Chris Statlander. That was a pretty good one. My favorite one though was when she lost the belt, and that was against Hikaru Shida at Double or Nothing. Love that match, and probably my second favorite champion. My favorite,
Hmm.
the next current champion. Do you know anything about Hikaru Shida? Have you seen her wrestle or
I
anything?
have not. I'm not an
Yeah,
AEW, not a lot, but no, 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 no. Was that a good match with her and Nyla?
it was pretty damn good. I believe it was no disqualification. She has, of course, that huge kendo stick. She's badass. She's super quick, hard strikes, amazing, really good. Think I don't know, very like Japanese strong style,
Hmm.
and she's really good. Yeah, loved her reign. Believe she had a year-long reign, and thankfully, right before she lost that title, I believe it was on the Rampage before Double or Nothing 2021. Rampage or Dynamite? I might be wrong. I'm pretty sure it's Rampage though. They unveiled was probably Dynamite, but they unveiled the new AEW Women's Championship, and thank God, it is no longer the size of a dog collar. It's properly sized. You can see on Hikaru Shida, it looks perfectly sized. 5 platers, perfect as it should be. Still has like those little, I don't know what
Nuggets.
to call them,
What are
rib
those?
in
Rivets?
between the plates. Yeah, rivets. I'm not sure what they're called. They almost remind me of the I don't even know what they are, but I don't mind them. Um, love the tooling. It's more uniform to the world title. You can see the AEW going down. They got rid of that stupid AEW gold tip. I hated that. Every time I saw that AEW gold tip on the old version, it reminds me of those shitty boots, and they would add that to the world title. Like United Brothers belt,
Oh man, I
like
tell
they would
you,
add that. Like
I
it's
tell
so
you.
horrible. I hated that gold tip. Thankfully, they got rid of it. I think it looks better without gold tip. I don't think it needs it. Um, perfect tooling looks great. Bigger plates. The gold looks almost like richer. Love this version. What do you think about it?
It's a better belt than the 7 plater. I'll give you that. With respect to the plates and the black, I think the gold, you're right, is a little bit richer. Um, Again, not any. You can't do color on these belts. It's really hard just because of where AEW, like what AEW is, like with respect to the logo and everything. The rivets, I don't understand the purpose of the rivets. I mean, I don't
I think it's
know.
like similar to grommets. Um,
Grommets? Okay.
similar to grom. Well, it's not grommets, but similar to like what grommets are. I don't know what those are called. I don't think they're not grommets. The grommets are the one on the IWGP V4 and the
Yeah.
NXT title. But I think they're used like grommets just for spacing. I don't mind them. I think they look okay. At the same time, if they weren't there, I don't think it'd make a huge difference.
Yeah. And then you have a lot of female snaps. I think what it counts to 2x8 on the female, probably a 2x8 on the
Yeah.
male going back. It's definitely I mean, here's the thing. I mean, with respect to the belt that's on her shoulder, there was nowhere to go but up when you
Yeah.
were improving the belt.
Yeah.
If any of you want some shitty fucking cardboard belts made like this, you can always drop United Brothers belts a line.
Yeah.
You dirty motherfuckers. I mean, seriously. And you guys really think that you guys are still going to post on Belt Addicts Anonymous? You guys try to do that again. And it's weird, Max. Like, all these fucking guys are just coming out of the woodwork. I don't know where they're coming from. They still post on Championship Belt Brothers.
Yeah.
They really do. But I do remember the one episode that Casey was on here, and you showed us the AEW belt
AEW.
that they put
Oh
out.
God.
If you are going to go with a maker, guys, do not go with them.
God no.
You can go with somebody better, and we'll mention a couple of the other
Yeah.
makers
Yeah.
that are further along. I don't know, but this belt, I mean, it's 100% improvement.
Yeah.
It's
For
it's
sure.
100% improvement. There's no doubt. So,
Now, the woman who beat her, my favorite women's wrestler,
mm,
well, AEW women's wrestler,
uh,
Dr. Britt Baker, Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. I loved when she won that belt. Oh my, amazing. First of all, great match. Double or Nothing 2021. If you have a chance, go watch it. Great match between the two. Just had me on the edges of my seat the whole time. It was stellar. And if you haven't seen Britt Baker wrestle before, go back, watch her match against Thunder Rosa at St. Patrick's New Year's. I don't know, the St. Patrick's Dynamite. I think it was. They had a lights out match. Holy shit, amazing match. Her match against Hikaru Shida was, of course, wonderful when she beat this title. When she won this title, it was an amazing moment. I'm tripping over my own words just because, like, looking back, it was such a good moment, and it was the first show back with first pay per view with a full arena, full capacity, and everybody was clamoring for her to be champion. She finally won the title. Huge. She's a heel, but she got a face pop. A face pop. It was just amazing moments. Just absolutely love her.
even though I don't watch AEW, I still hear about Dr. Britt Baker. I mean, I absolutely do. I would love, and I'm sure everybody can agree with me, for her to be my dentist and their dentist. I mean, like, she's dentist and wrestler. Um, I mean, I've heard such great matches that she's had. I've heard, what type of person she really truly is.
Mhm.
For her to win the title,
Great.
awesome. I mean, it's
Yeah.
amazing. I mean, even what she's doing there, Max. I mean, with the
Such a heel moment.
pose,
I love
like, amazing.
the charisma, and her promos are just stellar.
Yeah.
Stellar promos. Just overall great wrestler. And yeah, you can see the backing there. It is like a metallic snake silver
Yep.
snake skin backing. Super cool. I love it. I think it just adds a little bit of a pop, and I think that's great. Um, I really do love that. I think like the AEW World Championship, maybe not because it's so busy already. This though, I think it's a little cherry on top, and I think I
Mhm.
love it. What do you think about the backing?
I totally agree. I absolutely do. I mean, even how she's holding it a lot better than Moxley is. Moxley did. Man, she looks incredible there, no doubt. Sorry, but absolutely, yeah, great women's champion. I mean, what she's doing, and I hear her promos are absolutely amazing.
Yeah,
I might even actually just go watch a few just to see
yeah, you
what
gotta watch.
what
They're
everyone's been saying.
stellar.
But I mean, with respect to the way the belt is, I do like that backing though. I really
Yeah,
like the backing. It's just a unique back. And, like the re-leatherers that do these belts, black standard backing, that's great. But if you can spice it up a little bit,
yeah,
some of
it's
them,
fun.
it's fun. It's a
Yeah,
lot of fun. I'm not a re-leather. I know you are, Max. You love to re-leather, but like doing like some sort of like just
yeah.
different croc
It's
backings,
so
metallic.
fun.
It's
And some
fun.
people are such like tight ass and they're like, no, it needs to be black backing. It needs to
Nah.
be the way it was. I don't care. You'll see my AEW tag team title doesn't have the proper backing. My NXT title, um, red croc backing. I just do whatever I feel. Like whenever I order it, I close my eyes, I spin a color wheel, pick that color, that's my backing. I don't care. I think it adds
Exactly.
a bit of flavor. I love it. And I think that's the extra pop that this belt needed. Now, moving on to the next title, that is the AEW World Tag Team Championships. Um, for me, this was love at first sight. I really was. I absolutely love these tag titles. Now, I'll go with version one. Um, it's the same design. We'll talk about the difference later on, but really love it. I really do. From the second it was unveiled, I loved it. It reminded me of the IC title, um, also the old TNA World Tag Team Championships, the old Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships. Just a mashup. Love this belt. Everything about it. And you were talking about color. I love the blue
This
pop on the globe. I think that's just perfect. And for a tag team belt, great. I love the side plates. How it has the wrestlers on there. I always love that touch on the IC. I always love that. The nugget texturing, beautiful. The dual plating, amazing. Now, one thing that I don't really like is the font they use for the world champion banners. It's a little, I don't know, a little cartoonish in my opinion, but
Yeah.
the stars too. I don't know if I like those. I can look past it though. Love this design. What do you think?
Design's amazing, no doubt. If I were really to comment on it, I agree with you about the nugget texturing. I agree with you about the dual plating. The Now it's bugging the shit out of me though. With respect to the writing on it, there's inconsistency of the distance between the WORLD and then the champion going down there.
Yeah,
They're close together than champions
yeah,
further apart in the world, and the font looks a little just not font that I'm usually used to seeing. I mean, it's just really big for it. And then you've got
yeah,
consistent font, and then you've got the tag team being different, and then you got AEW being big. So there is inconsistency there. I still like the belt. Definitely, the main plate is a different type of design. The side plates seem to go really, really well with that main plate. It's really, really nice. Tooling all the way around the belt. Absolutely. It's flat. It looks like flat as a fucking pancake, though. Like
yeah,
it's not stacked, and we'll get to that. But just kind of just if you really put your hand on it, there's no stack or nothing there on that. But great design.
yeah. And we were talking about the nameplate earlier on the World Championship. I love the size on the nameplate. I think it's
Yeah,
perfect size. You can see the
yeah,
name. Love that. Side plates. I think side plates look a little big in my opinion. I feel like if they were a tiny bit smaller,
yeah,
I could like it a bit more, but I love it. Of course, it has the snakeskin backing, which I love.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, first champions were SCU. I don't know if you watched them before. Pretty cool. They were super over at the time. So now, well, they're split up now, but at the time they were super over. So it makes sense for them to be first champions. I like how the Young Bucks weren't immediately thrown into the world title match. They lost the first round of the tournament, which
So I looked that up, Max. Is it SoCal promotion, like the SoCal, like where they?
SCU. It
It's
stands for South California.
California. Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
something.
And it's actually kind of weird. I mean, I'm going to mention it, but we are trying to have a future special co-host on here who goes under the name of Tanner Black on SoCal. But anyways, if you're watching, bud, we would love to have you on here. I did look it up. I was like, oh, SoCal. I'm like, oh, okay. All right. Well, I know one person who was kind of in that.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, Max, I don't know what else I could say. I
Yeah,
mean,
no. I
it's a
mean,
prestigious
if you don't
title.
watch, you don't really know. But Scorpio Sky, amazing athlete. Frankie Kazarian, of course, a veteran. Yeah, I think they were pretty solid first champions. But I loved when Omega and Hangman won the titles on the Jericho Cruise. Great moments. I love when they like put two not random people, but they put two single wrestlers together and they win the titles like Team Hell No. I love that. I love that dynamic between them and the tension between these two. I don't know if you know too much about the storyline between the two. Just an amazing storyline. Of course, at the time, Hangman was trying to leave the Elite, so he's distancing himself, and then Omega and him ended up getting some traction as a team. They went up the rankings, they won the titles, and eventually they did lose the titles, but I just love them as champions. Do you have any thoughts on them?
I mean, that's exactly it. You're putting two single wrestlers together to act as a tag team, and sometimes it doesn't work out. In this case, it definitely did. And now, I guess, what are they? These two going at each other in the
Yeah.
next pay-per-view,
Next
which
pay per
is
view, Kenny Omega's world champion, Hangman's challenging him for it.
which is a perfect build up to it. And as far as these guys go, I mean, they've been great. I mean,
Yeah,
they really, really have, and they wear that belt just so fucking
it
great.
looks amazing.
And it's just it looks absolutely amazing. And some of these tag team titles that you come across, and I mean some of the older ones, and then the newer ones that are on that are on WWE, and we'll talk about WWE because I've got it. But
Yeah,
with respect to the side plays, I know you were talking about how they're really big. I actually like how big they are on this, and that there was
right.
a few of them. Just because I'm looking at the current SmackDown and the Raw tag that's over there,
Yeah,
and I mean,
so
they're
small.
yeah, they're small. They're
Yeah,
small. I find that this is really much better. I
yeah,
really do.
yeah. It's more uniform, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Now, moving on to the current version that is used, the version 2, kind of. They're just stacked. I mean, the AEW logo is stacked. I believe that's the only part that is stacked. It looks like there's a different shade of blue also on the main globe. Just a little more refined. The leather looks a little better. I like this. Rob, what do you think?
Version 2 is nice. Stack is nice. I wish they would have fixed the fucking world. I mean, come on. It
So
just started
fucked up.
bugging me. It's just bugging me. And that's what happens when you get into the belt game when you're been collecting for so long. You look at these
Oh
inconsistencies.
God.
You look at these
The space
inconsistencies.
between the W and the O, and then the
I
O
know.
so
I
next to the
know.
R.
I know because we're looking at these
Oh
inconsistencies here, and
God.
it just like it's bugging the shit out of me. It really is. And is it on? Like we'll look on yours, but I
Sorry,
mean,
sorry. It's okay. Mine's good.
it's actually okay. It's too
Yeah.
far. Stacked is nice. Stacked is really a nice look. I like the nameplate. I do, guys. Seriously, I mean, when you're doing these fucking just the lettering, can't we just have it consistent, a nice uniform distance between each other?
Yeah. Wrong.
Ah,
I don't know.
such a pity. It's beautiful. Don't get me wrong, but
Yeah.
I don't like it. I don't like having
I
the
don't know.
distance.
Maybe Ron didn't have a ruler, but
Oh, Ron.
well, now
Yeah.
moving on to the tag team that beat Hangman Page and Kenny Omega, of course, FTR. Truly a sad title reign. I'm gonna be honest. They should have had a way longer title reign. I believe they're only champion for like a month or two, not too long, and then they were quickly beaten by the Young Bucks.
For a while.
This pissed me off. I'm not gonna lie. They're just an amazing tag team, and they won them and they lost them immediately. Like they did the Young Buck feud and then they lost immediately. And that's kind of like, and
Older.
they're picking up some steam now. They're challenging for the titles against the Lucha Brothers. I don't think the Lucha Brothers should lose it yet though. So, but I do hope they get another title reign sometime down the road. But yeah, kind of disappointing. I mean, I love them as a tag team. I love when they won them. the reign itself was short, but kind of sad. Now the Young Bucks, they finally won their titles. I remember loving this moment. That shirt. I have a quick story on that shirt. I remember the day that they won those titles, they had the shirts, they had the hat already, and I remember seeing that in a backstage interview. I love that shirt. I don't know why. For some reason, I fell in love with that AEW Champions Tag Team Champions 2020. I love that shirt. So I immediately ran to the AEW shop. I pulled a mic, and I was gonna do next day shipping, and it wasn't on there. It was not on there, and I checked every day for like I think it was like 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, and then finally they put it on. I waited another like month for shipping to Canada, and yeah,
Got it.
long story to finally get that shirt. But yeah, their title reign, it was pretty. I think it was the longest title reign, the longest AEW Tag Team title reign. Pretty good. They did turn heel, which I think was perfect because I think when they were they were still faces. They were kind of they weren't too over. So I think they turned at the perfect time. And yeah, I love them as the cocky heels that everyone hates, and joking around. But then when it's time to get in the ring, it's business. Do you have any thoughts on the Young Bucks?
They were absolutely amazing tag champs. I mean, they absolutely were. Are they a heck of a tag team? No doubt. I absolutely agree with you. I think them being a heel is a lot better than what they were being with a face.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if I were to really think about AEW World Tag Champs, I mean, I know that AEW hasn't been going around for so long, and I know that I don't really watch it. These are the guys I think about.
Exactly.
I mean, you think about the Young Bucks. I mean, even their Funko Pop is great, guys.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
I have to agree. I mean, my title we'll talk about later has the Matt Jackson nameplate because you think about these guys instantly. Now, the tag team that beat them are the Lucha Brothers. They are the current AEW World Tag Team Champions. If there's one match you gotta watch, Rob, you gotta watch this match. Hell of a match. First of all, their entrance, badass. This is at All Out 2021. Probably my favorite pay-per-view of the year. Just all around the card was perfect. Bryan Danielson debuted. Adam Cole debuted. Crazy Nights. Just an incredible match. This is probably my favorite match of the night. They had a steel cage match. Hell of a match. Super brutal. You can see the blood on Penta's title. Just brutal match. Their masks are torn up. There's blood on the belts. Alex is screaming in the background. I love this moment. I love them as champions. Long overdue. Great moment. I know, Rob, you haven't seen too much of them, but wonderful tag team. If you like flips and shit, I know a lot of people don't like that, but I do. I don't care. I love it. So yeah, great tag team champions.
I love flips. I absolutely do. They're trying to entertain us, and you know what? They're doing exactly what they're doing. So
Exactly.
absolutely, totally agree.
Now moving on to the AEW TNT Championship. This one is a bit controversial. For sure, everyone hated it when it first came out, and that is, of course, the unfinished TNT Championship.
Yeah, I guess who we have to fucking thank for that one.
Yeah, and now Ron Edwards, Red Leather, did make this belt, and it was during the pandemic, so of course he had a buttload of excuses, understaffed, this, that, and third, but I mean...
No, Ron, I mean, why are you such a piece of shit? I mean, seriously, man.
It's horrible. Like, what the... I remember it was Cody versus Lance Archer, and who came out to unveil the belt? It was Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson came out with the belt. Mm-hmm. And when he walked out with that, I thought it was a joke. I seriously thought it was a joke. Because up until this moment, we had the AEW Tag Team titles. We had the World title, the Women's title, which is not bad. It's just tiny as hell. And I was so surprised. I could not believe it. I could not believe my eyes. I was so disappointed. This was very a low for AEW. I was so sad. Being an AEW mark, it was I couldn't defend this belt. It's fucking ugly, and it's unfinished. But if it's unfinished, why did you unveil it?
Yeah, why'd you unveil it?
Stupid. This is just stupid.
No, and I don't get it, Max. I mean, like the side plates, they don't even fricking go with the nameplate or with the main plate. Like I don't understand what the hell that is. I mean, it looks like a fucking piece of shit tin foil belt that you
Total.
get from a Pakistani bootleg maker. Sorry, but
And the
like,
TNT logo's black. Like why? And the AEW logo isn't even painted in. He couldn't
no,
at least paint it. I know maybe he didn't have enough time to play it because I guess it's so hard. But he couldn't paint it at least. Like
well,
fuck, throw
well,
some paint on there.
yeah,
If you're not gonna paint it. Like
yeah.
do something.
Yeah, and Ron thinks he knows everything. He thinks he's a fucking know-it-all.
Dickhead.
I mean,
Like
literally, dickhead. You know what, Ron? If you are watching this podcast, get the fuck out of here.
reporting on the pages. Like this is ridiculous. Now, Cody was the first champion. I hate this belt. When Brody Lee destroyed it, I was so happy. I rejoiced.
That doesn't look good.
Now, this was thankfully replaced with the finished or the better known as the Brody Lee Red TNT Championship. Now, Cody was the first to hold it. He was the TNT champion, but shortly after, I believe 2 weeks after, Brody Lee beat the ever living shit out of him on a Saturday Night Dynamite. And I remember going back and seeing this live, and it was just crazy seeing Brody just absolutely kill Cody. I loved it. I really did. And it brought so much legitimacy to the Dark Order, crazy moments. I loved it. Now, what do you think about the design?
It That's a better look, just because it looks finished. But thanks, Ron. With respect to the gold with the TNT, looks good. The red is fine. I don't know, and I know that we're going to be looking at the other slides here, but again, having red on the main plate and then having an all red strap,
Yeah,
doing a
a lot
lot
of red.
up here, too much red.
Almost like the
Um,
Universal, so much red.
exactly, and that's why I was happy they moved it to a blue strap. As far as, I mean, it, I don't know if I really totally like the design. I do
Yeah.
think we've seen the design before in previous belts. I really do think. Um, I mean, is it an okay belt? It is better than the unfinished one. I mean, seriously, definitely. But
Mm-hmm.
for this belt, I think it would look better, and we will talk about it on a black strap. It just looks a lot better,
Yeah.
in my
I mean,
opinion.
I just don't like the red strap, but
No,
plates look better. It's stacked TNT.
yeah,
Not bad. It was an
not
improvement.
bad.
Now moving on to the Black Darby Allin version. Now after this, Brody Lee, Cody did beat him, and then unfortunately, and then Darby Allin beat Cody. Unfortunately, Brody Lee did pass away
Yeah,
shortly after. They had a tribute show. It was a wonderful tribute show, and they retired the red version. Um, I believe they gave it to Brody Lee's family. If I might be wrong, but I believe they did to Brody Lee Jr. I know he had it on Dynamite, so if they did give it to him, that's great of them to do that. So they did retire that title for respect for Brody, which I think is a standout move. I think it's great. So they did replace it with a black version. Now this is a render. The real version did not have red croc backing, but same thing. It had black croc backing. I really love this version. Rob, what do you think? I love the black strap.
way better version. It's almost like that NWA TV title when we were looking at the all red. I didn't like that.
Yeah.
This is a way better version. That red and that black just makes it pop so well. The side plates look pretty good. The bars are really nice.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that this is really, really, really nice. I really do. I mean, is it a basic design? Yeah, maybe, but I do like that AEW logo at the top, and then I also like that they added in All Elite to it at the top of that, which is really cool.
I believe. Sorry, I believe the other version did have it. You just couldn't see it because they didn't paint it.
That's probably why. But having this though, on like some of the other titles though, Max, like with the championships, like the heavyweight championship, the women's championship, I didn't see All Elite on there.
Yeah.
But this is nice, and that banner, that red, man, that black just makes it so much
It pops. It's wonderful.
It pops.
Now you see Darby holding it there. It looks great. I love the little bread
Beautiful.
pops perfectly.
Beautiful.
Now going on to the white Miro version. This one is very controversial. A lot of people hated it. Some people liked it. Very little people loved it. I like it, honestly. Now, Miro did kill Darby, and then he pulled out this version. The thing I like about this is it has custom side plates, Bulgarian. I don't know. I think it's Bulgarian crest. I might be wrong on the side plates, which I think is lovely. The Bulgarian colors similar to the flag.
Yeah, they
I think it's
changed.
great. Now the back is the behind the plates. I believe it is green, and then the ends is black.
Ah,
So it's separated in like 3 pieces of leather. So it's green, black, which is kind of cool. But what do you think about this? Of course, made at Belts by Dan, way better maker. What do you think about this version?
wow, definitely a way better makers, no doubt. The two side plates that are off the main plate, I like them better than on the other version. I like what they did with this. The green is a little controversial,
Mm-hmm.
or I don't know if that's the right word, but like just like
Yeah,
green, and then I don't know. It almost like we're going for some sort of 420 belt here, guys. Like, that's
I
kind of
know. I
like,
know Eddie Ulinger like that. Yeah,
yeah,
shout out to
well,
Eddie. But
yeah, shout out to Eddie, man. But I mean, with respect to this belt, I've been seeing this belt pop up by the makers, and
yeah,
especially, of course, United Bitch Brothers. I mean, those guys are great. No, no, they're not. Um, this belt, I like the other version better. I
yeah.
do. I do like the other version better, even though I do like white straps. I do
Mm.
like white straps, but not everything works out. I don't know. It's weird, Max. If I could have the side plates, the two inner side plates on the other version, on the black version, and maybe not have it green, maybe have it black, like with the nugget, and then have
Oh
it
yeah,
black.
black would be
That would
cool.
make that belt really, really even better on the black version.
Hmm.
Yeah, this one,
Yeah,
just
I
yeah.
don't mind it. I do understand why they went with the green for the Bulgarian flag,
Area.
but yeah, it's well made. It looks pretty cool. It made sense for Miro. Yeah, not
Looks
bad.
better there.
Yeah, it's not bad. And then my favorite version,
Oh, Sammy.
the black Sammy Guevara TNT Championship. Unfortunately, they went back to Ron for this one, but whatever. We'll move past that. Oh God, I love this belt. This is like the Darby Allin, but perfected. They went with the red croc. Thank God, no more black croc. They went with the red croc, as it should be, because then it makes that red banner pop even more. It's a deep red, rich red, black strap, stones all over the main plate and the side plates, I believe. Just a beautiful
Man,
belt.
man,
What do you think?
man, it's fucking amazing. Just absolutely amazing. And man, that thing looks awesome. And I don't even collect AEW
Exactly.
belts. I mean, seriously, that thing looks absolutely incredible. It's beautiful. It really, really is. I mean, I don't like Ron, but I like that.
Yeah.
I
No,
mean,
that's
seriously,
amazing. I really do love it, and I love the property plate is all gold and black. Love
beauty.
that. Same on the main plate. I love it. I really do.
The whole thing works, man. The whole thing
It's just
works.
perfect. And for Sammy, it makes sense. I like how they removed the mirror finish. I never liked that. Some people like that. I hated it. I love the stones behind there. It looks
Mm.
perfect.
That
Beautiful
looks good.
belt. I absolutely love it. Now, here's a quick picture of the lineage. You can see all the champions already. Just a stacked lineage. And I can't wait to see who wins it next. Now, moving on to a title that no one has won at the moment. At the time we're recording, that is the AEW TBS Championship. Now, this is for the women's division. And um, uh, let me say this one thing. If you look at the TBS logo, it kind of looks like it says hose.
Yeah, it does.
Am I wrong?
It's
I'm
exactly
not
what
wrong.
I was just about to
The
say.
hose title. Come on, for the women's division, and then it looks like hose. Come on.
We need the Godfather
The Godfather, he's gonna
to
win
run
this
this.
belt. Like, this is for the women's division, and then it looks like hose. Come on, like, are you serious?
It does.
I love the baby blue banner. I'll say that the hose just looks weird. I know it's a TBS logo, but come on, maybe space it a little out so it doesn't look like an H. Black strap doesn't make sense to me. Like, why isn't it a white strap? I feel like it'd be cool, white strap with a blue baby blue banner. I think that would be nice. Um, Instead of having the meteor all the way around, it has like a bit of a nugget texturing around the TBS logo. It's not bad. Side plates, I believe, are the same as the TNT. What do you think, Rob?
I have a lot of thoughts on this belt. First off, the Ho champion, I wish them very, very good luck for being the Ho champ. With respect to the side plates and the main plate, I find that it's real. I talk about distance. I think that this is really close
Yeah.
to the main plate. I don't. The navy blue banner compared to the rest of the belt, like even where it says hose TBS, and then it has on the side plates, and then the AEW. I don't like the navy blue with respect to the black. I don't understand what the heck they're doing here. I agree with you. It should be a white strap.
Yeah.
It should be probably a white strap in here. I don't know what they're trying to do here. I really do. And of course, women's wrestling is just prestigious. And I mean, you're bringing this belt in, hose,
Come
hose.
on, man.
Fuck, bring the T. Do the T better. I mean,
and I know it's the logo like that, but maybe space it out a little more so it doesn't look like an H.
no. And then the problem is, Max, like the spacing, even with TBS, if it is supposed to be, you've got, let's say it is TB, and then the S is a little bit down. Again, I'm just nitpicking with respect to the inconsistencies.
Like you said, the side plates are so close.
Very close, very close.
Yeah.
Nugget texturing around the side plates, I really like. I don't mind those. I mean, the cut on the leather, it looks
really tight.
It's a tight cut. It really is. I was talking about color, guys. This is the wrong color. It's the wrong color.
If you're gonna put them on black strap,
it's the wrong color. I'm sorry. Black and blue, guys. Come on. That is the one thing that guys, even when they wear suits, they wear blue suits and they wear black shoes. Come on, guys. This is not exactly it. You wear brown.
Exactly.
You can't do a brown strap, obviously, with this, but get the color right.
Yeah,
come on.
No. It's I'm excited to see what they do with the title. I mean, disregarding the design. Hopefully it'll have a great first champion. I'm rooting for Thunder Rosa. I do know, she has a concussion, so hopefully she gets better. But yeah, the design, it doesn't do it for me. Kind of boring too, how they just kept the same design as the TNT. Like, come on. Moving on to replicas, though. We do have 3 on this list. 2 of them I own, and the first one is the official AEW World Championship replica. I don't own this one, unfortunately. It's not out yet. It was up for pre-sale a few months ago. And 700 USD. But come on, look at that. Good God. Shit. Wonderful, wonderful replica. It looks amazing. It has a similar leather strap. I don't care. Get it re-leathered if you care that much. I would. But if you don't care about the strap, it looks fine. Stones look fucking great. I think they look really good, and they're not the same plastic stones like they are. They're glass stones. That's what Dan McMahon said on the shout out to the Pound of the Meat podcast. He had his interview on there, very informative. He was talking about how they're actually glass stones, so they sparkle a lot better. They look a lot better. They're not plastic like WWE shop. They look amazing. They remind me almost of the UFC V3 stones. Those ones were amazing. They look really good. And from what Kenny Omega is using this belt currently on TV, and the stones look really good. Dan said that he believes it wasn't restoned. So the belt you see on TV, those are the stock stones. That's what Dan said. I trust him. He worked with AEW to make this replica, so I think he's a reliable source. It is re-leathered, but it is apparently not restoned, and that just speaks on the quality of the stones and the belt itself. Rob, what do you think?
What I spent on my belts, for me, guys, this is like not even like anything, with respect to money. I think it's a damn good replica. And I mean, as you were saying with respect to the stones, I mean, guys, people get their belts restoned with zirconias. They really do. And I mean, for these stones to not be, these are the stock stones. It puts it puts WWE like lower totally with what they provide you with respect to their replicas and stones. I really truly believe, and I know I have a lot of belt brothers who are, and you know them, of course, Max, who are getting the AEW title. They are going to be getting a beauty when it
Oh
ships.
yeah,
And I mean, I think they were saying that it was originally
December.
supposed to ship in Feb, but I think they're shipping earlier. I think they're
Yeah.
going in December now or
Dan
something.
was saying they're aiming for Christmas. No
Yeah.
guarantees. So if you do have one pre-order, sometime in December, hopefully. But of course, with the pandemic and everything going on, I guess delays are inevitable. But
Oh
the
man.
holiday season, you never know. So hopefully, it arrives sooner rather than later for everyone that pre-ordered it. But yeah, if you didn't get a chance to pre-order it, Dan said that they will have some more available. So save
Yeah.
your money right now. Be ready. It will be limited. Um, yeah,
Yeah.
wonderful replica.
It's beautiful. It absolutely is, and a lot of the makers are going to lose a lot of business over this
Yeah.
one. They
Oh
really
yeah.
are. The makers were making, I mean, a lot of money when they first came out. You know, with respect to the belt, the replica didn't come out, but now, I mean, guys, why would you go? And I mean, I'm sorry, no disrespect to
No. Yeah.
bootlegs,
No.
no, but with this belt, why would you go with a bootleg when you can get this beautiful belt?
Yeah.
And I mean, if you don't like the stock strap, just re-leather the damn thing.
Yeah.
But like the stones, as Max was saying, like fuck, look what he was showing, look what he was having, absolutely
Now,
incredible.
one thing I do want to mention is this design is slightly different to the real belt that was used.
Mm.
If you look at the floral pattern in the plates, it's gold, correct?
Yes,
On the real one that Dave Milliken made, it's silver.
it's okay. Yeah.
Now, from what I heard, I might be wrong. Apparently, that was the original design. Milligan fucked up and then just did it silver. So they corrected it and did it gold on this one. So if you wanna, I mean, all the boots are not gold. It's hard, you're not gonna find a boot that has it gold like that. So that's another plus for the official replica. Now that being said, if you don't want to go for the official replica, and if you were too impatient like I was, you can go to bootlegs. Now this one, let me give you a warning: do not order this anymore. At the time I ordered it, he was a reliable seller, belt maker. He was working with Eddie Williams. He was good. Now, though,
Don't even try.
quality, I don't think it'll be the same. I saw some of his recent ones, they don't look the same. Communication, garbage. Scamming, he might scam you if you don't pay in full. So beware, Mayan, not a trusted seller. Please, you got your warning. Don't buy from Mayan.
Yeah, and they go under Moozy Belts, by the way, on
Yeah.
Facebook. Do not even don't go with these guys. I mean,
Now,
seriously.
that being said, I did buy this before the official replica was out now because I was too patient. Um, and here it is. It is a complete monster of a belt,
See, that
15
looks
pounds.
good.
Now, if you're like, oh, I want that, get the official replica. Or if you don't want to get the official replica, contact Eddie Williams. He has a few makers with him. Mohammed Asif, I definitely recommend him. Mohammed Asif, same, if anything, better quality than this, and for a cheaper price, and no ridiculous wait times. I waited 9 to 10 months, I believe, for this.
That's better than the ORM.
Yeah, and better ORM, but still, um, just a beautiful replica. If you guys want to see it in more detailed review, it is on my channel. I'll put it in the link in the description. But yeah, it's a damn good replica. I don't recommend buying it though. As much as I'm praising it, don't buy it. Please don't buy it. Mayan, if you're watching this, go fuck yourself.
Yes, seriously.
He's a piece of shit. Now, I don't want to speak too much on the situation between Eddie and Mayan. If you want more on that, watch. If you want to see Mayan's quality, watch my WrestleMania 4 Wayne Deagle review, and you'll see his quality he's putting out now. And I'm sure you won't buy after that. I was lucky. I got a good one. It's a damn good replica. I when the official replica was released, I considered selling this and going with that, and I still might if someone has one up for sale, re-leathered, when the time comes. But for the time being, I'm good with this replica. It's pretty good, but don't go, don't get it, you know. But yeah, once again, detailed review, link in the description. Now, next one, the one that I do recommend, Royal Belts, Mohammed Lukman. He is a great maker, reliable, pretty good prices, affordable. Now, mine is re-leathered by Ryan Richards because, to be honest, his normal strap, and he might have improved since then, was garbage. He does have upgraded leather strap, which are pretty good. I had one before and it was pretty damn good, but his stock straps are pretty bad. So I got it re-leathered, and here it is, the AEW World Tag Team Championships, and you can see re-leathered. It has the AEW tooling there, just like the real one does. His stamp. Let's see the plates. They're dual plated, nugget texturing, stacked, removable Matt Jackson nameplate, proper spacing.
Yep, that's
It's not
proper.
the stupid spacing that Ron did. Forgot his damn ruler. Proper spacing. Plates look good. Snap box, gold tip, full gold tip, not half tip. The full tip,
Full tip.
no half tip like United Belt Bros. And the backing, you can't really tell in this lighting, but it is a dark, dark blue croc backing. Well, I'll try to shine some light on it. You can kind of see there.
Okay, that looks blue. Yeah, it kind of looked black when you brought it up.
It is a very, very dark blue croc. Now, the reason I went with this version, it was because I was talking to Ryan, and he's a great guy. He's easy to talk to, super nice guy. And there wasn't many options that looked similar to the one on TV. And there were some options, and he offered a bunch of them. And he offered to order a special backing and everything. And I said, you know what? I'm just going to go with something different. So dark blue navy backing, looks like black in some lighting, but it's a very dark blue, and I love it. I love it. I don't care if it's not accurate. I like it. I think the blue goes well with blue on the main plate. It is stacked. It's a damn good replica. I definitely recommend this from Mohammed Lukman. If you don't want to get it re-leathered, please pay the extra. I think it's like $50 extra or something like that. Get the upgraded leather. It is a completely different thing. The stock strap was so soft and it couldn't support the plates. His upgraded leather is way better. Way better. Now, it's not as good as Ryan Richards' leather. I mean,
that looks good. Ryan did well.
He's damn good on this. But yeah, what do you think, Rob?
Right. I mean, I remember when you had it on the other leather, and you're absolutely right. It was way too soft. I mean, Ryan, again, man. I mean, you knocked it out of the park.
He saved the belt. If it weren't for the re-leather, I probably would have sold it because I was so sick of the strap.
Ryan, go check out Ryan Richards. I mean, absolutely. He's on Belt Addicts Anonymous. He's with Belts of the North. He's with all those other groups. I mean, absolutely check him out. You can't go wrong. If you are in Canada, you can definitely, he's definitely a go-to as far as a re-leatherer. There's also Colin Cook out in Ontario. He's also pretty good. But, I mean, Ryan, I mean, with respect to communication, he'll get back to you. Like, I mean, he absolutely will. He doesn't scam. He doesn't do any of that. You send him the stuff. He's in he's in Burnaby, right? I think Burnaby, British Columbia. Yeah. A hell of a guy.
Constant communication. He's just a great guy. He's awesome.
Yep, and he is going into the Belt Addicts Anonymous Hall of Fame come in the Rumble 2022. So happy, to have him on there. So
congrats to Ryan for that.
Yeah, congrats. You are amazing, man.
He's a great guy. Now, that does bring us to the end of the podcast this week. Guys, please check out last week's episode. We went over the hardcore title with Brandon Douglas. He is a encyclopedia. He knows so much. And luckily, we might have him next week. Now, Rob.
Oh, man.
What are we doing next week?
Well, and I'll tell you, Max, and the reason why I'm going to bring this out here, but we are going to have Brandon Douglas and Casey, James Rush Bridges, co-founder, admin, Belt Addicts Anonymous, Brandon Douglas with Impact Wrestling, who was on the Hardcore Championship episode. But we will be reviewing the 2001 Figures Inc. line, like this bad boy right here. And I mean, we have talked about this belt, but we are going to be talking about the 2001 Figures Inc. line. These two guys, I mean, they are absolutely amazing guys. They have been belt collecting for God, like even before me, Max. Like, I mean, God knows, like these guys are. You're absolutely right. Like Brand's an encyclopedia. I mean, Casey knows almost like I mean, incredible amount here. I mean, definitely. So we'll definitely be having those two on here next week. Might be another co-host that might be. I can't say his name, but we are not going to mention him in case he does not come on here. But it is going to be a big episode. Max and I are wanting to bring you big episodes. We want to bring you really, really good co-hosts. Like I said, if these guys cannot make it, Max and I will always be here. That's exactly it. But we are trying to do big episodes. WWE. It doesn't have to be WWE. It can be in any way.
If you guys have any ideas, down in the comments,
let us know.
We'll look at them and we'll take in consideration. I mean, we've done it before. We'll look at a comment and be like, that's a good idea.
Yeah, absolutely. Let us know. But excited for this episode that's coming up. And it again, all of our episodes do air every Wednesday. Feel free to comment on all of our episodes. We do post them in a lot of the belt groups. I think actually post them all in the belt groups. They'll always be on this channel, but feel free to drop a comment if you want to see something different, if you want to see new things, if you think that what you like seeing, let us know. We always love the criticism. We love the praise. Whatever you can give us, that's great. But what do you think, Max? Do you want to end this episode tied up with a
Now before I do that, I just want to give a quick shout out to one of the best belt groups in the world, of course, Belt Addicts Anonymous. If you guys have any questions, any concerns, or if you just want to talk about belts, join Belt Addicts Anonymous. We're pretty free on there. Now the thing about this is perfect for either experienced belt collectors, or if you're just new to the hobby. If you don't know, you're kind of you like belts, you have a shop belt, but you don't really know anything, feel free to go in there, because we do have the Title Tuesday sales post. And on there, the thing about that is we don't allow sales of bootlegs. Now, the reason we do that is to keep people from getting scammed, and we don't want the thing flooded with makers, and that's just a pain in the ass. And I've seen people get scammed because they don't know what they're getting because it's a bootleg. And it's just, I mean, I'm for some bootlegs, but it's just hard. It's a whole nother world. So we try and keep that out. Bootlegs are available for trades, though. If you want to do a trades, make sure to do reference checks before that, though. But most of the sales are Figures Inc., WWE Shop, just official replicas, like the AEW Championship replica, the official one. Maybe one day it'll be on a Title Tuesday post. So yeah, if you're looking for any belts for a deal or anything, side plates, anything, check out those posts. Of course, any information or if you have any questions, feel free to message me, Rob, any of the admins. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you guys next week.